Friday night in the league, we knew how good their arm was. We had watched them. Coach Weir said he reminded them actually a lot of Tyler Baum. I don't know if y'all remember Tyler Baum, but good stuff, riding fast ball, had a little more velocity than what we thought he was going to have. Folger was outstanding. He matched them pitch for pitch. Unfortunately, we threw too many pitches in that inning, so we went to Dalton. We had a plan. If we could get some length from Folger, we were going to try to go to Dalton, Matthias, and Poston. And keep them short because they all had to throw against Campbell. But our bullpen was unbelievable. We had some really, really grind out at bats. Alberto stands out, the no-fair in that last inning. Parks Harber hit his first home run. And then, get strikes him out. The base is loaded, and he comes back and leads off that inning and hits us a double. And pitch run, Caleb Carlson, which is amazing to me. Kid's playing football now. He's over here scoring the game-winning run. So, fun game, good crowd. Good win for us.
It reminds you a lot of the Friday game against East Carolina. Same score, same pitchers, same.
Yeah, I feel like we played better. Early on in the season, I think you're still trying to figure out things a little bit. And I feel like the guys now, especially throughout the team, our teams are a very confident team. We've got good players that we can match up with off the bench, but I feel like our guys know that, hey, if we can scratch or claw and get a couple runs, this bullpen's pretty nasty and we can hold leads.
So you thought your offense was better than against East Carolina in that Friday game?
Your Savage is mighty good. I think he's a first rounder. I don't think this kid's a first rounder, but he's a high pick. A lot of scouts in there to see him, obviously, and a lot of our guys. But it was very similar. In our league, this is what you should expect on Friday night. I think last year was a little bit rare because there weren't as many legit Friday night pitchers, but based on what I've been seeing on video, there are a good amount of them this year.
Not that you needed any more fire in the dugout, but it seemed like the explicative you sort of fired your team up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's a big thing this year is sportsmanship. And I talked to our guys about it, like, hey, you're going to get thrown out if you bat flip at the other dugout, or if you, we talk about it all the time in our program. I'd yank them out probably before the umpire would yank them out. Just about being humble and directing everything towards your own dugout. And when that happened, in my mind, I definitely thought, number one, we're probably going to win this game. And Parks Harber is going to have a chance to get back up there to a big situation. And sure enough, he hit that double.
Yeah, and he came through with the home run. You talked all year with us that it was coming.
Yeah, you see how fast it got out.
And then he just smoked one out there. Just sort of talk about his progression this year.
Well, the thing about Parks that I love is how bad he wants to help us win. And I think that's why he's been pressing a little bit, because he's really talented. Probably our best pure hitter on the team. And you still haven't seen what you're going to see. But we're lucky to have him here. But he's got tremendous power, but he's also got a hit tool. He can go to two strikes like that. And I'm like, okay, his bat isn't over. Where a lot of power hitters, in my opinion, it's all or nothing sometimes, and that's what Alberto's gotten better at this year, learning to spin on pitches. And I just think it's going to continue to get better and better, because that's a double and a home run, and that's what he's capable of for sure.
Did you say anything specific to Parks after he hit his homer as he's going down the third baseline?
I just saw a big smile on his face. The longer you coach, I write on my game card now, just enjoy like every game, because they fly. And, these guys come back, and Kyle Datcher's, for goodness sakes, like 28 now. I feel like he was just here. But you can tell that he needed that. And when you are a guy that's capable of hitting a lot of home runs and a lot of doubles and driving in a lot of runs, all it takes is just a little spark. So I'm excited for him.
Tough break when it looks like you had the inning, and it looks like the guy goes around, but the third base umpire says no.
He won't have it, what you were trying to say.
He won't have it nothing. But I'll look at the video and talk to the umpire about it tomorrow. But
you seemed like you had a little bit of a discussion with
of course. Yeah, of course. I thought he went. I also thought the pitch before was a strike. I have to go back and look. Now I can find out in the next 30 minutes. I'll just go and look at the track man and get the report. But 2 outs and nobody on, that's baseball. And the big thing about that inning was, we talked about it, and Coach Gaines was very adamant about going to Dalton Pinch right there. And in my mind, I'm like, man, Boaz looks really good. And that's the hardest decision to make as a head coach, because I have to make it. Like, do I stay with Boaz? Do I go to Pence? And then you got Pence. He got the out. The bases loaded. And Pence is rolling through him. And again, we thought Matty was a better matchup against their two-hole guy, so we made that move.
What do you say to Folger, kind of, when you're making that decision? What do you say when he comes off the mound? Because those are two really close.
Like, I'm going to fight for you. I said, first of all, you're going to stay here until he comes out here, because I'm going to talk to him a little bit. And I just wanted the umpire to know, like, hey, we got to get those pitches moving forward in the game. I've learned, unless it's that bad, to not make a fool of yourself, because it doesn't do much except take away. But if I have to, anytime I can fight for our players, I'm going to do it, and they know it. And I just told Folger, man, I thought you were unbelievable. That was his best outing. I mean, he was reaching back 94 a ton, had 3 pitches, had the slider going better. I just said, you pitched your tail off, Dalton's going to pick you up right here.
If he gets out of that inning, do you let him roll?
Yeah,
6,
I
7?
think I do. I think I'll send him back out there, but he got to 90. So, if he would have stayed in, I might have taken him out after that, keep him in that right under that.
Little control issues here and there, though.
Not bad. I mean, how many walks did he have? Boaz, he had 3.
A couple of wild pitches.
To me, honestly, I didn't see it that way. I thought he was in complete control the whole time. I thought he had his foot on the gas. He was throwing every pitch with Matt's conviction. And I tell our pitchers, when you have stuff like that, don't be afraid to walk a guy in a certain situation. I'd rather you walk a guy or strike him out than the guy hit a double. And when you get a 3-2 count, if you throw a slider down and in, he doesn't swing at it, tip your hat to him.
Mateus, 5 wins.
10 innings, 5 wins. Leads the nation.
Vulture. We had a guy, I think it was Greg Holt in 2011. That's credit to Matty. I mean, Matty goes off the summer ball and he throws 1 pitch and he gets hit with a line drive on his left arm and it breaks his arm. So he comes in and he's just not ready, and I'm like, man. But he worked his tail off over Christmas break and he just keeps getting better and better and better. The one thing about Matty Mathias, so we knew when we recruited him, was that he was a calm, cool customer. Had some of that ice water in his veins.
Last one for you, for me at least, Osuna. I thought it was probably one of his best at-bats.
No doubt.
In a while.
That is-
Considering the situation and being down 0-2 or whatever it was.
Yeah, and the kid works. I mean, you see how big he is. And that doesn't just happen. He works, but he's worked so hard in the cages about becoming a more complete hitter. And not being afraid to go down looking instead of just chasing out the zone. Like now with the trap man, you cannot be afraid to take strike 3 because they're not calling it like they used to, 2 off. And wasn't that bad that was.
Yep.
I know that he had the hamate last season, but what if his evolution seems to have been quite high compared to this season, compared to all the strikeouts last season.
Well,
And now
the thing
he's
I know. The thing about it is we saw that last year until he had to hammer. He had an unbelievable fall, unbelievable preseason. We thought his first year he hit 20 home runs and he didn't really know what he was doing at this level. He was just that strong and that gifted. I told Weir's coach Gaines yesterday watching BP, he's like, I'm going to really miss. I mean, I've coached a long time and he has the most raw power of anybody. I'm just going to miss watching him take BP, but he's becoming a better hitter. And therefore he's more dangerous because he's got that power and teams are, they don't want to walk him, so he's going to get more pitches to hit.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Coach.
Good job, man.
Thanks, Coach.
Sir.
Come on, boys. Yeah, Dad's out there tomorrow.
Forbes, haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, definitely.
good day. Good day to talk.
Needed it.
Seemed like the words fired you up a little bit.
No, it was nothing. I was just glad we could get a win there, and then I knew I was going to come up, later in the game and have a big at bat, and so, just frustrated with the base loaded that I couldn't, get some runs batted in for the team, so just kind of had to flush it and lock in for the 8th inning.
You ever had a pitcher bark at you like that after a strikeout?
Oh yeah, it's just baseball. It's just part of it.
But you kind of yell back at him a little bit?
No.
No?
No, it was nothing.
I didn't see him say
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say a word. No, it was nothing.
No, so you didn't say anything about
I
that?
heard
Okay.
what the pitcher said.
Yeah, no, I didn't say anything. So.
Talk about the home run a little bit. I mean, Coach Forbes has been talking to us all year. It's coming. I promise you guys it's coming. And then you do it. Talk about what you saw and how you did it and then the feeling after it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it was big for me to kind of get that on the board. But just, testament to the coaching staff, just, being confident with me and trusting it. And I knew it was coming too. Baseball's hard not to press, but at the same time, I have, been doing this for a long time, so I knew a slow start is normal, so I was just excited to get that one on the board.
How do you feel riding the bases and then coming into the dugout?
Yeah, no, it was like I said, I felt 20 pounds lighter, so it was nice to kind of get that off the chest. And it's always nice to kind of score first in the game too. I think it kind of calms the team down. So
What'd you hit?
fastball, yeah.
On the review there, I think that you guys turned to, he was clearly out. They called him safe. Your role there, I mean, obviously you can feel the tag ball and all that. Just walk us through your job there as far as letting the coaches know, hey,
Yeah.
we got to look at
Yeah,
this.
definitely. I mean, I think every baseball, especially games like this, I mean, one pitch can be the difference, one play can be the difference. So there I felt he was obviously out, and I can feel it, so that helps. But just knowing those challenges are really important, and even might be the first or second inning that could change the game. So just relay to the coaches that this definitely was worth the challenge, and he's out.
2-1 game. The bats have done enough to get the lead, and then you got this guy coming out there. What's he mean to this team?
I just confidence. Obviously I was pinch run for, so I was watching from the dugout, and I was just sitting there. I knew once we scored in the bottom of the 8th that the game was probably going to be over with just his mentality and his stuff. It's a testament to him and the whole bullpen, just how hard they work.
This reminds you a lot of the East Carolina game. Same pitchers, same score, same battling.
Yeah, definitely. It reminds me a ton of baseball games because you look back at a season, reflect, and you're like, wow, that game came down to one play, that game came down to one pitch, and it's just so important to treat every pitch like it's the last, because it can change a game and it can change a season. As
a player, would you rather play these type games or when you score 13, 14 runs? Honestly.
Yeah, it's nice to score a lot, but I think these games are really, really important because they build character and they build confidence, and hopefully when we're still playing in June, we've been in situations like this before. So I think you'd want to score 15 runs, 14 runs, but these games are so valuable.
Yeah, and how does you have heavy competition that you're facing around? How does the first ACC game that you play coming down to 1 run mean for the team going forward?
Yeah, I think you look at the end of the year, a lot of the good teams do really well in the 1-run ball games. I can count how many times on my hand I've lost by 1 run and won by 1 run. So if you can kind of be on the positive side of those games, your team ends up doing pretty well. So I think it's really, really important for a team, to try to be in the green when it comes to those 1-run ball games.
Was there a discussion in the dugout after that guy got ejected where people were talking about getting pumped up because of that? Or did it just happen?
No, I think the game, at that point, it's still 1-1, so there's so much to play for. And obviously, we weren't even winning yet. So I think just the message was, stick with the process offensively because we need to get some runs on the board and just kind of trust ourselves.
Thanks, Perks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep. Thank you.
How's it going?
Thank you.
Having a good week. You got a win? You got a save?
Okay. Same question I asked him from your standpoint, being in his 1-run run. You got to love that moment.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. 1-run games are means do or die, so.
And you bring it. You had some grunting going on getting into it. Just sort of talk us through. We don't get to do that. Talk us through coming in top of the 9th. You got a 1-run lead. It's an ACC game. You got to have it.
Yeah, well, so Coach Gaines radioed down. He was like bottom of the 8th. We just got out of the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, we're coming up to bat. He's like, we could be going to post right here. We don't know yet. We'll see. We'll let you know. And then later on, he was like, all right, we're gonna go to you. This was before we scored. And Parks leads us off with a double. And I figured no outs double, we're probably gonna score. So I'm getting loose, and nobody Knopf getting the big sack fly and Berto getting the even bigger one. But they just, whenever we scored, I was like, all right, I know I'm going in, 1-run game, adrenaline's gonna be there. I didn't feel the greatest in the bullpen, but I was like, adrenaline's gonna kick in and I'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
What's your mindset when you're going up to the bat?
It's just me versus you. I don't think I threw a single off-speed pitch today. I'm just gonna go with my best pitch is a fastball. I'm just throw it as hard as I can right down the middle, and either you hit it or I get an out. It doesn't really bother me. I just as hard as I can right down the middle every time. So
It seemed
Is it
like
personal? Do you take it personal between you and that guy?
oh yeah.
Sorry.
In my mind, I feel like what I do leading up to my outing prepares me. It probably, I don't know if it does or not, but I feel like I prepare myself better than he prepared himself. That's just what I tell myself, so it makes me have more confidence.
And both of your save chances have come in 2-1 games, where it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I love it though. I think I'd rather pitch in 2-1 than 11-1 games, just because it's so much more adrenaline and everything. It's just the feel of it's a lot better.
And then when you hit the guy, the tying runs on base, what's your mindset going into that last batter?
I'm not worried about the guy on first. I know he's a tying run, but he's gonna. If I get this guy at the plate out, he's not gonna score. So it's just me versus the guy at the plate, and getting the job done. So can't complain about
It seemed like you started at 93, and by your last pitch, you were up to 96. Does
Yeah.
that just fuel you?
that. Well, like, I don't know. It's just like I get out there, and then once I hear the crowd, once I'm like realize like, oh crap, like this is real. Like I just get going. Like I don't know, just something in my head makes me throw a little bit harder, I guess. And
I saw your mouth moving a little bit in between the batters. Do you talk to yourself on the mound?
I do. I'm not gonna say what I tell myself, but
We can turn it off.
Would it not be family?
it's not family friendly.
But it works.
It's just to myself. I just try to get myself in that zone, and it ends up working out for me. So
What about when, and we've seen this a lot this year, 2 strikes, you gas the guy twice, kid coach comes down, calls time. You sort of
Oh.
walk around and then you go stand there staring at him, waiting. What's going through your mind?
well, that's
Not
I
family
think it happened to
friendly.
me 3 times this year, and I'm just like, all right. Once they do that, I know that the coach doesn't have. Like to me, like it feels like he knows I'm about to strike him out, so he's trying to delay my process. At that point in my head, I'm like, all right, this at bat's over. Like you might as well like not even try because I don't care. Like it's you call time, you know that I'm dominating the hitter, so it's just me versus him at that point. And to me, whenever the coach calls time, it feels like he lacks confidence in his hitter rather than.
You ever thought about saying, why don't you get back in the box?
No, I won't do that. I won't do that. If I do that,
Coach
Probably.
Forbes will be after you.
yeah, you'll probably be after me. And then, but I don't know. I don't really play like that. Like, I'll like say stuff in my head that's not friendly, but it's just to myself, and I'll never say it to the opposing player or anything like that.
You guys have reeled off some wins. You had 2 tough against East Carolina. You got your first ACC win. What's the mood in that locker room after a game like this?
Same as it is whenever we beat like, we could play like the worst team in the NCAA, and if we win, we're still happy just to win. Like every game's different. Like tomorrow's 0-0 ball game, so we're not going out there. I mean, we expect to win. Like that's what we play. Like try to expect to do good and all that stuff. But we just celebrate every win because it's hard to get a win, especially in ACC.
You're talking about words from the mound. The words from their starter. Did that fire everybody up?
Oh yeah, like that stuff is. It's like Coach Forbes says, you gotta get humbled. Like, I feel like that happened to us last year against Gardner Webb. The same thing happened. We were down in a close game, and then they say something, and we ended up all right. Now we got fired up, and then we ended up scoring. It's like I don't know. It's kind of like karma. Like he says something to Parks, and Parks is the one that gets on second the next inning. Like gets a double to start the inning. So it's just kind of like a little humble pie. That's what Coach Forbes likes to say. So he says that to us too. Like if we don't work or do something wrong, we'll get humbled ourselves. So it's
I
just-
know the outing before this one maybe wasn't your best.
Oh,
So-
Fort Campbell.
Yes. So what did this one feel like? Just to kind of bounce back.
I mean, I don't really look at the past outings. Every outing's new. Like, I just go in there like I can't change the past. So I'm just like, all right, well, I'm here. I'm pitching. They're not going to change it right now because they can't. So, and I just got to go out there and just try to do my best every time. And got guys behind me that are really good defensively. Like, I think we have one of the best defenses in the country. So I think those guys, where they work really hard, they're good. They're solid. Like, there's a lot of stuff being called, a lot of plays being made from them, and that just gives the pitchers confidence. And then we're just able to throw balls. If we make mistakes, we got guys like Vance and Knopf and Casey in the outfield. They can just track anything down. Guys like Colby and A-Mad in the middle, and they just lock it down, a lot of double plays. They just get us out of a lot of jams. So
Thanks, Pumpkin.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks.
thank you guys.
Appreciate it, man.